A lawsuit against the Knoxville Symphony Orchestra is gaining national attention, raising questions about how musicians get jobs and diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. The lawsuit comes from clarinetist James Zimmerman. He alleges the KSO did not hire him because of his views on race and politics.
10 News reporter Alana Mutinick joins us with the response from the orchestra tonight. And Alana, leaders say their decision was based on concerns about safety.
Yeah, John Robin, that's right. The case is centered around a blind audition, meaning musicians perform behind a screen to ensure fairness. James Zimmerman auditioned last year for the orchestra as their principal clarinetist, to which he made it through all 3 rounds of the screened auditions. But after hearing from his prior employer, the Knoxville Symphony decided against giving Zimmerman a contract.
We are bringing musicians into orchestras that are not only not the best players, they are coming in with a very heated political agenda.
James Zimmerman, a Nashville-based clarinetist with an extensive musical background, auditioned for Knoxville Symphony Orchestra in September of 2025.
And I thought that, 6 years later would be long enough for us to kind of look back on that and say, hey, times have changed, the needle has moved a little bit, and if this guy can win a blind audition, we'll hire him. And here we are.
Zimmerman was with the Nashville Symphony more than a decade until the orchestra fired him back in 2020. He tells me over accusations of racial harassment towards a black oboist.
He knew that he couldn't bend me to his will, and he launched a Jussie Smollett type case against me. They let me take the fall for the whole thing.
Zimmerman hasn't occupied a seat in a symphony since February of 2020. He made it through all 3 rounds of the Knoxville Symphony's blind audition process, but then KSO declined to hire him.
He chose to do it. He didn't have to do it. He wasn't required to do it.
Legal analyst Don Bosch says the plaintiff will have quite the challenge trying to prove he's not only entitled to the job, but should also be compensated for 1 year of probationary contract and $25,000 in preparing for the audition, which is what he's suing for.
As I understand it, Mr. Zimmerman may have had some problems with a past employer. Those may have been discovered late and before a formal offer was made for a job. And as a result, fairly, an organization could choose not to hire somebody based on those references or recommendations.
The Knoxville Symphony Orchestra says in a statement that even though the audition committee recommended Zimmerman for consideration last year, the actual employer retains every right to reject such a recommendation.
The fact that they're not willing to follow that process and instead say, yeah, we just want some kid who's still in college. He's not white. That checks our diversity boxes. He's probably going to be quiet.
The Knoxville Symphony says in a statement, multiple musicians in their orchestra expressed concern about Zimmerman based on information related to his previous termination in Nashville. The symphony said in a statement they also had, quote, legitimate safety concerns, but they aren't saying exactly what that means. John, Robin.
Anna, thank you.